Right now, without thinking about it, you are breathing. In and out, in and out. Your chest rises. Your chest falls. You have done this roughly 20,000 times today alone. You have never once been taught how, and yet, almost certainly, you are doing it wrong, not slightly wrong. Wrong in a way that is quietly reshaping the bones of your face, narrowing your airways, flooding your body with low-grade stress signals, and stealing hours from your sleep every single night. Wrong in a way that your great-great-grandparents almost certainly were not. The real answer to why is far stranger than you expect. Your mouth was not designed to be an airway. It was designed to eat. Every time air travels through your mouth instead of your nose, it skips an entire system your body spent millions of years building. Your nose filters, it warms, it humidifies. Deep in your nasal tissue, your sinuses produce nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels, improves oxygen uptake in your lungs, and kills bacteria on contact. It is a built-in pharmaceutical your body manufactures for free, but only when you breathe through your nose. When you breathe through your mouth, you bypass all of it. Researcher James Nestor spent years investigating this, and what he found was not abstract. He and colleague Anders Olsson plugged their own noses with silicone for 10 days, forcing mouth breathing around the clock. Blood pressure rose, snoring exploded, sleep collapsed. They both developed sleep apnea within days. When the plugs came out, every marker reversed. 10 days. That is how fast the body responds. But here is the part that pulls everything apart. Mouth breathing was not always this common. Anthropologist Daniel Lieberman at Harvard has spent decades studying skull architecture across time. Pre-agricultural skulls, from before farming, before processed food, had wide jaws, broad palates, and large nasal passages. Their airways were open. Their faces were built for nasal breathing. Then, around 10,000 years ago, as humans began eating softer foods, something changed. Jaws stopped developing fully. Palates narrowed. The face got smaller, and it brought the airway down with it. This is not a genetic shift. It is a mechanical one. When your ancestors chewed roots and dried meat, those forces stimulated the bones of the face to grow wide and forward. When food became soft and processed, the stimulation stopped. The face grew inward. The airway narrowed, and into that narrowed airway, mouth breathing moved in. When you breathe through your nose with your mouth closed, your tongue naturally presses against the roof of your mouth. That pressure is a constant developmental force. It widens the palate and keeps the airway open. But when your mouth is open, your tongue drops to the floor. The pressure disappears. The palate narrows. In children, this sets the structure of their face and their airway for life. Now bring this forward into sleep. During sleep, your throat muscles relax. For a nasal breather, this is fine. But for a mouth breather with a narrow palate, the relaxed tissue collapses inward. That is snoring. In more severe cases, the airway closes entirely. Your brain fires an emergency signal to reopen it. Not enough to fully wake you, but enough to drag you out of deep sleep. This can happen dozens of times per hour. You feel it the next morning as exhaustion, brain fog, and cravings for sugar. Most people blame stress or screens for bad sleep, but an enormous proportion of disrupted sleep traces back to a collapsed airway, and a collapsed airway traces back, in many cases, to a lifetime of breathing through the wrong hole. There is also this: breathing more does not mean getting more oxygen. Chronic overbreathing reduces carbon dioxide in the blood, and carbon dioxide is the signal your red blood cells use to release oxygen into your tissues. Without enough of it, the oxygen stays locked up. Your body stays in a subtle, permanent state of alarm. The fix is not surgery. Breathe through your nose, during the day, at the gym, while you sleep. Chew harder foods. Breathe slower and less, not more. You have been breathing your entire life, and the way most of us have learned to do it, open-mouthed, fast, effortless, is the result of 10,000 years of softening food, shrinking faces, and narrowing airways. Tonight, when you lie down to sleep, your jaw will relax, your airway will narrow, and your body will either drift into the deep, restorative sleep it was designed for, or it will spend the night fighting its own collapsing architecture, one shallow breath at a time. The breath you just took, without thinking, is one of roughly 600 million you will take in your lifetime. The question is not whether you are breathing. The question is whether any of them are doing what they were supposed to do